MJF is easily the biggest star in AEW right now. Easily. I don't care. I'm a big Will Ospreay guy, and yes, I've always said this, Will Ospreay is the top guy. But there's a difference between being a top guy and being a top star. There's a difference between being a top guy and a top star, and MJF is that top star. MJF is basically the only superstar that AEW has. A homegrown star that AEW has. Why would you take the belt off of him? Why would you take the belt off of him? Why? AEW made the right decision by having MJF win. I'm just curious about what AEW is going to be doing with Hangman Page. That's just my only concern. Do I have faith in their creative team? I wouldn't have had faith in them 2 years ago, or maybe even a year ago. I actually have more faith in them now. We're going to have to wait and see what happens, but do I think AEW is going to break that promise? I have no friggin' idea, but I'm very curious to see what AEW does with Hangman Page now that he is out of title contention. He's out of title contention, so what is he going to do? But with MJF, there's a lot of other potential, opponents that MJF has. I mean, there's Andrade wanting to go after the world title. Everybody wants to go after the world title. I want to see another MJF versus Kenny Omega match. Like, I really, really, really want to see that, and I think we're going to be getting it. But at the same time, we still, in terms of Kenny Omega, he has to go through Swerve first. But we're going to have to wait and see what happens. I mean, there's so many possibilities as we head towards Dynasty, as we head towards Double or Nothing, as we head towards Forbidden Door, as we head towards All In. All In is basically the culmination of all of this. And there's so many different possibilities, and it makes me really excited. I'm not going to lie. I haven't been more excited about what's been going on in the main event scene for AEW in a while. I'm being honest, and I'm more excited to see what is going on in AEW than WWE right now. I just am. A year ago, I wouldn't have told you otherwise. Like, if I had said that, I would have probably gotten crapped on. But last year was different. Last year, AEW was in a different position. This year, AEW, I feel like they have gotten I feel like they've gotten their shit together. They've definitely gotten a lot of their shit together. Do they still make stupid mistakes? Absolutely. Every promotion makes stupid mistakes. But I think AEW, especially what they have been doing in their main event scene by keeping it focused and by having everybody go after MJF, who, by the way, is holding the top prize in the freaking promotion. Everybody who's in that promotion should be striving to go after the world champion. And that is exactly what AEW has been doing. That is the story that AEW has been telling, and I've been enjoying that. Everything seems fresh, and I like it. I like the main event scene in AEW. That's what's really keeping me intrigued. And I'm really excited to see what we're going to have. Well, I'm really excited to see what's going to happen as we head towards Dynasty, as we head towards, of course, Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing is going to be a big show. It's going to be in a tennis stadium in New York, which I plan on attending. I'm very curious to see what the main event is going to be for that show. We also got All In. Of course, Ospreay is gunning for MJF now. Well, first he's got to get through Moxley first, but then, he wants to go after Max. Everybody, I mean, the Owen Hart Cup tournament, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with the Owen Hart Cup tournament. I'm very excited to see what happens there, but a lot of awesome possibilities, man. I'm very curious to see what happens, but overall, I thought Revolution was a fantastic show. A fantastic show from top to bottom. Easily the best card of 2026 so far. Do I think WrestleMania is going to be a little bit better? I have no idea. WrestleMania hasn't happened. It's going to happen next month. But so far, I think Revolution easily was the best pay-per-view of 2026. And we're only in the month of March. If this gave you any indication of how AEW is going to book their shows, this gave you any indication on how AEW is going to present their pay-per-views, I'm very excited to see what AEW does with Dynasty, what AEW does with Double or Nothing, what AEW does with All In. Because if you thought Revolution was great, how great are going to be these shows? I'm very excited about the future of AEW. I really am. And I'm happy that this company has finally gotten their shit together, basically. They have finally, they still do the stupid mistakes, but like they've realized, like, you know what? We haven't really been hitting on all strides throughout the past couple of years. And I'm glad they've finally woken up. And we're like, you know what? We're going to give you guys direction. And AEW has been giving everybody, they've been giving us direction. And they've been giving us simplicity, especially with that main event scene, which I love. They're not, overcomplicating everything like they used to do. which I really appreciate. But AEW really has been hitting on all strides. But yeah, overall, Revolution was a fantastic show and easily better than the Royal Rumble and better than the Elimination Chamber.